Imagine waking up in Bali, sipping coffee by the ocean, and checking your phone to see your money growing safely in a bank thousands of miles away. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the real question. How do digital nomads like you actually manage their money when they're constantly on the move, living in one country today and another tomorrow? The answer often comes down to one thing: offshore accounts. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll discover not only what they are, but also the hidden benefits and risks that most beginners never hear about. Number 1. What exactly is an offshore account? Let's keep it simple. An offshore account is just a bank account located outside your home country. For example, if you're from the USA and you open a bank account in Singapore, that's an offshore account. It's not some shady thing only billionaires do. Digital nomads, small business owners, and even regular people use them to handle money while traveling. Example, imagine you're freelancing online. Your clients pay you in dollars, but you're living in Thailand. If your money goes into a USA bank, you're paying high fees every time you withdraw. An offshore account can cut those costs and make life smoother. Number 2. Why do digital nomads even need offshore accounts? Think about it. You're living in Mexico today, Spain next month, and Vietnam after that. If your money is locked inside your home country, you'll always face currency exchange fees, delays, and foreign transaction charges. Offshore accounts help you store, spend, and move money without getting eaten alive by fees. Example, let's say you're getting paid $3,000 per month. If your USA card charges 3% on foreign purchases, that's $90 gone each month. Over a year, that's more than $1,000 wasted. Offshore accounts help you keep that money in your pocket. Number 3. The difference between offshore accounts and regular bank accounts. Here's the thing. Functionally, they're the same. You can save money, withdraw, and make transfers. The difference is location and benefits. Offshore banks often provide access to multiple currencies, easier international transfers, and sometimes even lower taxes depending on the country. Example, a digital nomad in Portugal may open an account in Estonia. That account might let them hold euros, dollars, and pounds in one place. Try doing that with a small hometown bank. Number 4. Are offshore accounts legal? This is the part where most beginners hesitate. The word offshore sounds suspicious, like it's tied to money laundering or crime. But here's the truth. Offshore accounts are 100% legal as long as you declare them properly and pay any taxes required in your home country. Example, in the USA, you must report offshore accounts above $10,000. If you do, you're safe. Hiding them is illegal, but simply having them, totally fine. Number 5. The hidden benefits nobody talks about. This is where things get interesting. Offshore accounts can protect your money during political instability, give you privacy, and sometimes even offer higher interest rates. Example, imagine you're from a country where the local currency crashes overnight, like Argentina has seen in the past. If your savings are in an offshore account, your money is safe in a stable currency like dollars or euros. That can be life-changing. Number 6. What are the risks? Now, it's not all sunshine and palm trees. Some offshore banks have high minimum deposits, like $10,000 or even $100,000. Others may shut you out if you're not a local resident. Plus, you need to carefully follow tax rules to avoid penalties. Example, let's say you open an account in Switzerland but forget to report it back home. You could face huge fines. So, the risk isn't the account itself, but how you manage it. Number 7. How to choose the right country for your offshore account. Not all countries are equal. Some are famous for offshore banking, like Singapore, Switzerland, or the Cayman Islands. But digital nomads often pick countries like Estonia, Georgia, or Portugal because they're easier to access. Example, a freelancer living in Bali might choose Singapore because it's close by, offers world-class banking, and deals in multiple currencies. Number 8. The step-by-step process of opening one. First, research the country's requirements. Second, gather documents like your passport, proof of address, and income sources. Third, apply online or visit in person. Finally, fund your account and start using it. Example, if you're applying in Estonia, you can use their e-residency program. That lets you open and run a business entirely online, including your offshore bank account. Number 9. How taxes actually work with offshore accounts. This is where most people get it wrong. Having an offshore account does not automatically mean you avoid taxes. You still need to follow your home country's tax rules. But offshore accounts can make taxes easier by letting you separate personal and business income or keep track of earnings in different currencies. Example: a USA citizen living in Spain might use an offshore account to receive freelance payments. They still report that income to the IRS, but the account makes it easier to manage currency conversion and payments. Number 10. Offshore accounts versus digital wallets. Which is better? Platforms like Wise, Payoneer, or Revolut also let you hold money in multiple currencies. These aren't banks, but fintech solutions. They're great for fast transfers, but lack the long-term security of a real bank account. Example: if you're sending small amounts from clients, a wallet like Wise works. But if you want to save tens of thousands for future investments, an offshore bank account is safer. Number 11. Real stories from digital nomads. Take Sarah, a freelance designer from Texas. She was working in Bali, but every time she withdrew money from her USA bank, she lost 5% to fees and conversion. She finally opened an account in Singapore and saved over $2,000 in her first year. Or Daniel, an online consultant living in Portugal. He opened a bank account in Estonia using e-residency and now runs his business completely online without being tied to his home country's banking system. Number 12. Offshore myths that beginners fall for. Myth 1. Offshore accounts are only for the rich. Wrong. Many banks let you start with just a few $100s. Myth 2. Offshore accounts are illegal. Wrong again. They're legal if you declare them. Myth 3. Offshore accounts automatically help you avoid taxes. Not true. They help manage your money, but you still owe taxes at home. These myths scare people away, but once you know the truth, it's not that complicated. Number 13. How offshore accounts help you build financial freedom. This is the big picture. Offshore accounts give you flexibility, protect your money, and lower your costs while traveling. They're tools that help digital nomads stay in control instead of being trapped by their home country's banking rules. Example: if you save $3,000 in fees and taxes each year, that's money you can reinvest in your business, your travels, or even passive income streams. That's financial freedom in action. Number 14. Offshore accounts for business income. Many digital nomads don't just freelance. They also run small online businesses. Offshore accounts let them separate personal and business money while staying organized across borders. Example: if you're running an e-commerce store and your customers are in Europe, opening an account in a European country makes payments smoother and avoids constant currency conversion. Number 15. Offshore accounts make global investments easier. If you want to invest in stocks, real estate, or funds in another country, having an offshore account there often makes the process much faster. Some opportunities even require a local account. Example: a nomad living in Spain may want to invest in European index funds. With a bank account in Estonia or Germany, they can directly invest without struggling through complicated cross-border transfers. Number 16. Offshore accounts improve currency flexibility. Instead of constantly converting money, you can hold multiple currencies in one account. This protects you from exchange rate swings. Example: if the euro gets stronger against the dollar, having euros in your offshore account means you don't lose out. That's a safety net for global travelers. Number 17. Offshore accounts help in emergencies. What if your home country suddenly freezes accounts, raises taxes overnight, or restricts transfers? Having an offshore account ensures you still have access to funds. Example: during currency crises in places like Greece or Argentina, people with offshore accounts could still pay for their needs when local banks limited withdrawals. Number 18. Offshore accounts support long-term residency plans. Many countries require proof of financial stability when you apply for visas or residency. Offshore accounts in stable countries can make this easier. Example: if you apply for residency in Portugal, showing funds in a European offshore bank might speed up the approval process. Number 19. Offshore accounts can improve privacy. Some countries allow greater financial confidentiality than your home bank. While this doesn't mean hiding money, it does mean your details aren't automatically shared with everyone. Example, a digital nomad who prefers not to have every transaction tied to their home country bank may choose Singapore for its stronger privacy laws. Number 20. Offshore accounts reduce reliance on one system. Relying only on your home country's banking system can be risky. Offshore accounts diversify your financial safety net. Example, if your USA debit card suddenly stops working while you're in Thailand, an offshore account gives you a backup way to access funds without waiting weeks for a replacement card. Here's the real kicker. Offshore accounts are not just about banking. They're about building a lifestyle where money works for you no matter where you are. They're about being free to live in Bali, Spain, or Thailand without worrying about how to access your hard-earned cash. They're about making sure your money travels as easily as you do. So now let me ask you, if you had the chance to open an offshore account today, which country would you pick first and why?